Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are looking at the Four Horsemen Figura Obscura Headless Horseman. This is the retailer exclusive version. This is not the Four Horsemen exclusive version, so this is the second version that they did. Slightly different in terms of colors and things like that. I didn't get the first version. I waited for this one. I actually prefer the color on this one, so that's part of the reason that I didn't pull the trigger on the first one, but it's a big chunk in box. I mean, it's big, right? It's a big box. It took me a minute to get the sort of the booth set up, the background set up, because it's about twice as big as most of the things that I unbox. But anyway, let's take a look at the package. So on the front here, we get this beautiful artwork of the Headless Horseman. You get the pumpkin head there, Headless Horseman. The Four Horsemen symbol down at the bottom there as well, and some cool little things like, you know, the skull down in the bottom there. Beautiful trees through the back. On the top of the box, you get the Four Horsemen logo as well, and the moon in the clouds, which is really, really nice. On the sides, now these can open because it's got magnets, which I will sort of take a look at in a second. But we get on one side the Figura Obscura logo with some websites, and then on the other side we get a bit of a bio for the Headless Horseman, which I can't even fit in the screen because I can't move this side over any further. And then once we remove that, we get the Headless Horseman in the box, you know, the full display there, which you can't see because of the glare, but we're going to take them out of the box anyway, so it doesn't much matter. On the back side of the box, more awesome artwork from Nate Barch. The green spectral fire kind of thing that's going on there looks absolutely fantastic. He's got his flaming head and his headless body there. Very, very nice packaging. But it's not about the box. It is about the figure. So let's get this guy out of the box. So as I mentioned, the backside of that magnetic piece is this beautiful piece by Nate Barch. You get the windmill, the river, the moon is out. What looks to be a church kind of lit up there in the corner. And this spooky tree inhabited, you know, maybe by an owl, maybe by something more sinister. And then on the other side, we get this really creepy looking tree. So that's pretty awesome. That's background number one from the outside of the box. On the inside of the box, we get another beautiful background. Now this one, I'll just move the horseman to the side for a moment. This one has a beautiful bridge. We get that river. Presumably, I mean, this is the same river that is in the other background. We get the pumpkin head that looks exactly like the pumpkin head on the figure right there. And just a really, really beautiful piece. Great for a background of a display. Both of them would be. So really, it's not going to be easy to pick which one to use and which one to kind of put in storage. That being said, you could probably use both if you want to do two separate displays. But anyway, let's take a look at the figure. Right out of the box, the Headless Horseman looks fantastic. The colors are perfect. If you like purple, and I know that some of you probably do, this guy is a really, really great figure. Full disclosure, I picked up this figure primarily for fodder. I don't necessarily need the Headless Horseman as such in my collection, but I do need this purple. I do need the purple gloves, the purple boots, the purple chest plate, the purple skirting, the purple pouches, And then the black cloth for the arms and the legs is, you know, icing on the cake. The pumpkin heads, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with them. I think one might go on a goblin body if I can find, you know, a 1.0 to 2.0 neck adapter. But the figure itself is absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to do something with this guy. I'm leaning towards putting the black Jaguelian head from the head pack that we got recently on this body, because I think it perfectly suits it. You know, the black and the purple it goes really, really well with that black Jaguelian head, or possibly alternatively the purple Jaguelian head from Purplore. Mythic Legions, so there's nothing too surprising as far as the articulation goes. The articulation is fine. You know, you'll hit the poses that you need to. If you've never seen an articulation video for Mythic Legions, I apologize. You're not going to see it here either. I haven't heated this guy up yet, and I would want to do that before I would pose him up. But you get, you know, single jointed knee, single jointed elbow, but you've got, you know, a glove swivel, good articulation at the wrist, you know, a boot swivel, not a boot swivel, but like a knee swivel, sorry, swivel at the thigh, a nice ball joint on the ankle. So the articulation on these is pretty good. I have no complaints whatsoever about Four Horsemen's articulation for these figures. But where this guy really starts to shine is his accessories. I mean, I don't even know if I can call them accessories, because, you know, what's the Headless Horseman without his horse? So let's take a look at his accessories. So, starting off with his horse. It's a big old horse. It's a Four Horseman horse. I love the Four Horseman horses. I think they look fantastic. Their proportions are really, really well done. I don't know if this is, you know, anatomically and whatever accurate to an actual horse, but as far as I'm concerned, it works perfectly. The sort of balance between the horse and the riders and the figures is really, really good with what Four Horsemen are doing. And again, I'm not going to do the articulation, but you've got, you know, joints in the upper leg, or, you know, at the hip of the horse. I don't know what it's called. A little bit lower in what would be the thigh, the knee, and the ankle. The tail is articulated as well, and on a pivot, so you can get some posing out of that. You know, the neck has articulation, the head has articulation. The front legs pretty much mirror the back. So, you know, altogether, these will pose fine. Again, I'm fine with the articulation that's in the horse, because I don't need a horse that you know, can get into like a crazy position. It's a horse. It's a mount. I'm going to put a figure on it and sort of play with it. If you're a toy photographer, maybe you want a little bit more from the articulation on the horse. I don't know. I mean, I think they're great, like I said. This will be like my 9th horse or something like that. So I'm probably the wrong guy to be sitting here sort of, if you're critical of the articulation on this horse, you know, okay. Anyway, the horse also comes with an alternate mane, so you can pop that mane off and put the alternate mane on. So you get that sort of windswept running look. Looks really, really good. Now, I will mention, although I don't have a black light or anything to show you, that there's paint on here, and I don't think the camera's going to pick it up, but there's sort of a hit of green paint on here. So the mane, as well as the fur, the hair on the legs, the hooves, and the tail will actually glow in the dark. Now, it's just a paint application, so it's not like a crazy amount of glow, but under black light, or, you know, charge it up with UV, you'll get a cool glow out of that. As far as the Headless Horseman's accessories go, I think the coolest one to me is probably this flaming pumpkin head with this huge amount of flames coming out of the back. So it is a slightly different sculpt to the main one. I think, maybe not. Maybe it's just paint apps that are making me think that. I think it's just, you know, I think they might have just taken this one and then sort of changed it, tweaked it a little bit to add the flame effects. But that's super, super cool. I believe that this green paint also glows in the dark, and I'm not entirely sure about the flames. But that to me is probably the most exciting piece of the bunch. For me personally, you get a sword. We've seen lots of 4 Horseman figures come with the same sword, so there's nothing terribly exciting there. We get this, so obviously if he's the Headless Horseman, he needs to be headless. You can pop that head off, pop the neck adapter off, and then this little disc will replace it. You've got that severed spine, some flesh in there, which is really, really cool. I'm going to get this guy geared up and put that on there as well. We get a hand with a ball joint, or sort of like a neck. What it is a neck peg. So effectively, he can hold his flaming head. As you know, a Headless Horseman is prone to doing. A few more spare hands. The figure comes with an open hand and a standard gripping hand, but we get another open hand for the left hand, a gripping hand for the right, and then an alternate gripping hand for the left as well, which is a vertical hinge, which makes me think that there's a horizontal hinge on the figure as it is now. Last but not least, we get this beautiful wired cape designed by CJ Jessam. Black on the outside and this very, very vibrant, rich orange color on the inside with a little chain to attach that bit there. So I know that's going to look really good. I know all this stuff is going to look really good once it's sort of on the figure and sort of set up. So let me get this guy all posed up and I'll give you my final thoughts. So here's the Headless Horseman in all his glory, kitted out with all his gear. I switched the mane on the horse, popped the head off, put that really cool neck adapter thing on there, the flaming head on the ball jointed, or the neck pegged hand. Sorry about I got the cape on there. As I said, it's wired, so you can kind of pose it up. I'm not good at posing capes, so that's about as good as I ever get. But this is an awesome release. Like, this is just a really, really fun action figure. You know, if you like the Headless Horseman, it's perfectly suited for you. If you just like cool action figures, this will easily fit into Mythic Legions. This will easily fit into, you know, whatever line you've got. Maybe maybe you got a Scooby-Doo action figure collection and you needed a Headless Horseman. This is it. This is the one. This one, as I said, is a retailer exclusive. I picked mine up from eCollectibles.ca. I think Mike still has a few left. So if you want to pick one up, reach out to Mike and he will get you hooked up with one of these Headless Horsemen. As I said, great release. Something I would strongly recommend that anybody that is collecting action figures would appreciate, and you know, it comes with its own display. So what's not to love? You can get it going, get it on the shelf right away. So definitely something that you should pick up. Great package, like literally great packaging. Great figure. Accessory wise, like I said, you know, the horse is I guess an accessory because it's packed in with the Headless Horseman, but definitely a very solid release and something that I would recommend. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you don't want to miss future videos, hit that bell icon. Until next time, bye-bye.